Is there an Apple product out there like a Mac Mini that you actually need your own screen with, but it's not actually a Mac Mini? There is one. Let's find out. All right, so what I wanted to do today is I want to show people, you have to open up your mind. So everyone's looking for used equipment. I had a couple of videos back about how much things cost in the used market right now. And they're very expensive for Apple. A lot of it has to do with the pandemic going around us, people working from home, everything else in between. Just keep in mind that Apple products are pretty expensive right now. So what I had the question I put out there was, is there an Apple product that's basically a desktop computer that you can use that's not a Mac Mini, that you connect to your own screen? You have to have an external screen. Maybe you already have one, laying around and it's just something that you can use. Is there an Apple product that takes that shape or takes that form? And there actually is one, and it's actually a lot cheaper than you think. And I recommend it over the Mac Mini in some cases. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into what that product is in this video. I'm going to show you some examples of costs and things like that. Stay tuned because you're going to hear it eventually and you might say, I don't want that. But then I'm going to compare some things. I'm going to compare what I'm going to show you to the Mac Mini and show you some cost differences and then also performance differences. And then open up your mind because this might be the product for you. You got to maybe wait this out. You got to wait for the right one to purchase, but it just might be the one for you. Let me tell you what it's all about. All right, so this is going to be a fun one. Let's go ahead and see what I'm saying here. So let's just assume, let's say you're looking for this Mac Mini that you want. And again, is there another option to this where you can plug it into an external monitor and not get the Mac Mini? Does Apple have a product like that? And the answer is yes, and I'm going to show you why. But first, let's start with the Mac Minis here. So for example, let's just look how expensive they are because of the pandemic right now. And if you look at this is a 2014 i5 2.8, 16 gigs of RAM. It does have a terabyte hard drive and 128 SSD, but it's $550 right now. And the problem with this isn't only a 2-core. Anything after 2012, so if you want to get a newer Mac Mini and you want the newest OSs on them, you're going to have to get like a newer one like 2014, 2015, 2016. And the problem with those is they are dual core. They don't have 4 cores. They're kind of not workhorses. They're not good for a lot. They're very slow. So if you keep going and we look at like even, let's go up to a little bit better one. This is an i7 from 2014 Mac Mini. $629. So is there a better option than this? I mean, again, even though this is an i7, it's only 2 cores. It has 16 gigs of RAM, 256 SSD, but it's got 2 cores, and that's the problem. So what is the good option here? You're going to be shocked, but I stand by this, and I want to show you. Just wait until the end of the video to show you some of the pricing and show you some of the comparable features here. All right, and a drum roll, please. All right, so this is what I propose. You go into eBay and type in MacBook Pro cracked screen, damaged screen, Pro display broken, MacBook Pro display broken, everything broken. What you're looking for is a MacBook with a broken screen only, and that's the key. So what I'm going to propose here is take a look at this. Now, these are MacBook Pros, but look at the difference here. It's a MacBook Pro, whatever the model number, but it's 16 gigs of RAM, 256 SSD, and it has a cracked screen, and it's only 443. Plus, it's got this is an i7. It's either going to have 4 8 cores. It's going to have a lot more power for video editing and everything else than those Mac Minis. So think about this for a second. This computer can basically just sit in a dock. You can have a dock, never open up the screen, connect it to an external monitor. You can even read down here, it says computer runs as it should. It's set and ready to go, hooked up to an external screen. So in essence, this is a Mac Mini on steroids. Take a look at that. And it's, the i7 is what, $200-300 cheaper, plus you're getting a lot more power. All right, so here's another one you can check out. This is the MacBook Pro Retina 15-inch mid-2014, 2.8 gigahertz, again, 4 cores, 500 gigabyte SSD. It's going to, it says starting bid $190. No one's really bidding on it. US $400, but you can make an offer on a lot of these things. We'll see. This is the buy it now price, $400 only. But in a lot of cases, I don't know if this one will offer it, but you can bid on it or place an offer, and you might get it for a lot lower. But let's look at this one as well. I mean, it's basically going to give you a lot more power than the Mac Mini. Put it on a dock. Everything else, cracked screen, see pictures, does not display in upper left corner, otherwise fully functional, which basically means it's going to work on a dock. So again, don't worry about the way it looks. Throw it under a desk, throw it in the bottom of your, whatever. You're going to have the Mac OS for a lot cheaper and a lot better than a Mac Mini, unless you're going maybe for the 2012, but that OS is getting old on those Mac Minis. And here's another one. This is a mid-2014 15.4-inch MacBook Pro, 16 gigs of RAM, and it says cracked screen as well. This one's only only $300, and it's got the buy it now price right there. So again, sometimes you'll be able to even make offers on some of these things, email the person or what have you. So $300. Imagine this, if this is a Mac Mini, it would be a lot more expensive. And then just to wrap this up, again, the last one I want to show people is the MacBook Pro laptop, 2015 cracked screen, $333. Make an offer on this one. I mean, it's going to have blemishes and it's dented and stuff, but again, who cares? If it works, it's got, it's going to be capable, I believe, of 4K on external screens. I mean, it's going to be just an incredible unit that you get, and it's going to be a lot cheaper than the Mac Minis, and you're going to get a lot more power if you're into video editing or if you're into things like that. So that's my tip. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to come back and say, oh, that's crazy and stuff, but just think about it for a second because it's not too crazy. So what did you think? Not a bad idea, huh? So again, open up your mind. I know a lot of people, there's going to be a lot, I get a lot of Windows bashers and stuff. You get people saying like, why would I ever buy that? I could buy a PC that has no damage or whatever. But I'm talking about people that really want to get into the Mac ecosystem. They have a budget maybe for an older Mac Mini because they already have a freestanding monitor. They want to be able to hook it up. But then they find out the performance may not be the best unless they're getting like the 2012 i7 with 16 gigs of RAM and stuff that had 4 cores. The 2-core models are really slow. They're really maybe TV kind of computers. But they, if you pick up an older broken screen MacBook Pro or a couple year MacBook broken screen MacBook Pro, they could have really good insides, really good RAM, really good CPUs, and they could work really good with the SSD drives as well because those aren't broke. So again, open up your mind and let me know what you think in the comments. I make a couple videos a week. You guys watch my channel, hopefully. Please subscribe and help me out. I just need to get my subscribers up so I can continue. At the end of the day, like I always like to say, open your mind on things like this. Money is, something you have to work hard for. So wherever you can save it, look for where you can save it, and no one's going to notice that the MacBook has a broken screen if it's sitting there in a dock and you can't even see it because you have a monitor behind you. Talk to you soon. Peace.